it is fair to say that a lot of what we're seeing is folks who have gone completely off the rails.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
And in their desire to be secular or non-religious, they basically just swapped out one religion for another religion. In their desire to not be Christian or follow Jesus, they've created their own ways of doing things and their own delusions and their own nonsense. And this couldn't be better illustrated by today's video. It's not a very long video, but it is a very good video and is going to get straight to the point and make the point that we're going to discover today, which is oftentimes people who claim to be the most tolerant and the most open-minded and the most progressive are really just fundamentalists in their own religion of radical leftist nonsense. I don't really even know what to call this stuff. Gender ideology. I don't know. I don't know what this is called, but it's completely far gone. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this clip here in just a second, and it's not a long clip, but it's a good clip. Not here for a long time, but a good time. All right, go ahead.
It's okay to transition children?
Yeah.
To Christianity?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Do you think it's...
Oh my gosh. Wow. That was such a good ride. That was a three-part, three-act story structure.
Perfect.
Entire film.
Perfect.
Wow.
Was that good?
That's great. Yeah, I have no complaints. That's so awesome.
Play it for good measure.
Right.
Play it one more time.
Let's zoom out so we can get everyone's reaction.
It's okay to transition children?
Yeah.
To Christianity?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, so
you think...
so my question would just be real simple. Why? Why?
Wow.
In what world is the idea of acknowledging the delusion of a child and or potentially injecting them with things to stop the puberty process better than sending them to church camp? In what world is that the better of the two options? And sending them to church camp is bad.
Well, I mean, they do believe that it's inherently destructive.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Christianity.
That's the issue.
But they think it's affirming. They think the teaching the kids is affirming.
This is a sickness.
You know, it decreases self-deletion rates when you tee yourself.
It never been compared to a control group in those studies.
Although it's never been compared to a control group, but it is a study.
There's a study somewhere.
Doctors do it, so it's got to be safe.
Doctors co-sign it.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend that did it, and they feel good now.
Yeah. Do you really?
No.
I had a friend, an acquaintance, who sent their kids to a sports camp at a church and was mad that they came back
Christian,
having heard the gospel. And there was the little tracts that they were given with the gospel.
See, the local community always wants to take part in the free activities the church got going.
You realize the point of the sports camp is to tell your kids about Jesus.
I thought they just want to play 60 the kids. You know?
Nope.
They don't want to Michelle Obama the kids.
If you're sending your kids to the sports version of Vacation Bible School, guess what? They're gonna get some Vacation Bible.
Yeah.
And she was very upset. She was very upset that they told them the kids about Jesus dying for your sins to save you from hell and the whole thing. And I'm just kind of, why are you so upset about this?
They're like, no, there's actually no winners.
Yeah.
No one wins down here.
I didn't get it, but
that's funny.
It just goes to show how much self-awareness is lacked in people who operate in these spaces, that they really don't get how ridiculous you look. When we get to the brass tacks of it, you know what it is? It's the people who wanted to be a part of fundamentalist nonsense, like the fringe fundamentalists that didn't get to be. Maybe they were hurt. Maybe they had certain desires that were incongruent. And then those same people end up being fundamentalist, but just not in the Christian sense.
Yeah.
So instead of like young earth creationism and like the world is flat in the ferment, they're like tea the kids and like, you know what I mean? And I didn't mean to do that because those aren't one and the same, right?
Well,
but you know,
that was kind of crazy.
yeah, that was kind of it. Yeah,
I mean, they're both crazy,
yes,
but one is like destructive, and then the other is just like ridiculous.
yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, I don't know about that one, but you know, we still love you. You're still a part of Team Jesus, right? Like you can be into the ferment and the flat earth and still be a part of Team Jesus.
You got more than a little bit of Jesus. You just got no science.
Yeah,
You got a little bit of
people
science.
have created their own science.
Yeah.
And have
In a way, it's
and-
kind of a great
and have derailed, right? Biology derailed what you're born as. They say the doctors assign this at birth.
Oh.
They've completely derailed all of it,
Yeah.
and just made up their own stuff. And they're just as crazy about it.
The more and more you go, the more and more correlations there are to the flat earthers and the firmament people.
right? It's the same, but it's the
Yeah.
same. What I'm saying is it's the same avatar.
Yeah.
It's the same avatar. It's the same type of person. That the difference is the Christian fundamentalists fled the institutions. These fundamentalists infiltrated the institutions and created their own nonsensical view of this stuff.
That's crazy. You know what's weird? Like I've talked to somebody that is like, "Oh no, I'm a far leftist. Like I'm left all the way." And I never understood, maybe it's just my mindset, is that like I think it would be if I was in a conversation and someone's like, "Oh, are you this extreme or this extreme?" Like, isn't it more socially appealing to be like, "Oh no, I'm more in the middle," you know? But like, there's people that are just, yeah, I am the extreme. Like I am all the way on this side.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, but don't you like see the, even just from a social perspective of being like, don't you think you seem like a cooler person if you just if you just at least just say you're in the middle?
Nope.
And then you can spend some time figuring out what the other side actually says. Like it's just more, you would think it's more appealing to be like a center whatever direction.
No, because they are okay with being in a cult.
Yeah, but they're like
Think about people who are in a cult. They don't know they're in a cult,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People who are in a cult don't know they're in a cult. And so you're trying to deprogram them. And they're like, no, bro, I don't celebrate birthdays. No, bro. Right?
So there's a little bit of like, why would I be middle with the enemy? It's like, no, I have such a high conviction that this thing is right or left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I will not participate in any sort of like if this thing is truly evil, then I will not participate in like figuring it out with you because I think you're evil for that, for going to church camp.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is wild when you think about it. But yeah, my friend who was, and the funny part was they were telling me all this. I was like, you know, I'm a Christian, right? Like, you know, like, and I was really trying to get to like the crux of like, why are you upset? Like, what are you so upset
Wait,
about?
what are we talking about? I feel like you just skipped the story.
My friend who sent their kids to the
yeah,
sports
yeah.
camp,
Yep.
right? We're upset, and I like, why are you so upset about this? I don't understand why you're so angry. Like that.
Did they know you're a Christian?
Oh yeah.
And
They were like consoling to me, like, why would you teach this to kids?
why would your group do this
I'm like-
darkness?
I'm like, yeah, we tell kids about Jesus,
Yeah.
you know. So anyway,
Sometimes I look at my son and I go like, we're gonna brainwash you with facts, evidence,
yeah.
case for Christ.
I'm not really sure how you guys got so off track in the chat, guys. Y'all are talking about
Well,
science.
because we started talking about how like the firmament they don't have any science, and then also the far left has like no science either.
Yep.
And then everyone here is like apparently like not everyone, but there's like some people in here that are like,
into
man,
the firmament.
science is not the answer. You guys know it's not a black and white thing, right? Like, you know, science isn't another religion, right? We know that, right? Like when you look at world religions, it's not like Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, science. Like they're completely different.
Can you look up the word science?
They're completely different. Yeah, let's do that.
This is amazing. Yeah, and it's but I'm glad they're here. I'm glad they're here because oftentimes people will come and you'll start as a skeptic on what we're saying. Well, what I'm saying is God has dominion over all institutions. That's what I'm saying. You know,
I never learned math because math isn't Christian.
Yeah, because math is a religion. What? The scientific study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world. That's the key. The systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against the evidence obtained.
Which, ironically,
science isn't trying to solve for spiritual issues.
Yep.
So stop being threatened by something that, just like math isn't trying to solve for spiritual issues, it's trying to solve for the physical and the natural world.
Now, are there people that hold so strongly to science that they have no understanding that it's an observation of the natural world and not the spiritual world? Yes.
Right.
There are scientists that are like, well, if I can't observe it and repeat it and I can't test it with a theory, then God isn't real.
Yep.
Yes, there are, but that doesn't mean that that's their hurdle.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that science is inherently not Christian.
Right. Science is a method. Science is knowledge of any kind. It is not materialism. It is not becoming a materialist. They're not one and the same. So anyway, don't be threatened by science. You guys are you're being a weirdo.
It's so much nicer over here.
What?
Not being threatened by science.
Yeah, well, like
and
I'm
loving God.
not. Yeah, and science testifies to God.
That's what I'm saying. It's so much nicer over here.
Even folks that are like, you believe in the Big Bang, like Christians, like you believe in. Yeah, but the Big Bang was coined by a Christian
Scientist,
literally, who came up with the idea.
A scientist that's Christian.
Whatever. Anyway.
Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.